Hey everyone, welcome back to K-Joy. I'm your host Ara, and this is K-Pop This Week. Your roundup of all the chart-topping comebacks, breaking headlines, and unforgettable moments from the K-pop world. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss a weekly update. So, who's currently the most popular K-pop girl group? Well, it depends on the metric. If we go by global monthly listeners on Spotify, the answer is clear. BLACKPINK leads the charts with nearly 32 million monthly listeners as of mid-September, making them the highest-ranked K-pop girl group on the platform. Following closely is TWICE, who continue to prove their staying power with over 26 million listeners. But here's where it gets really interesting. Despite being on a full hiatus with no active promotions, NewJeans ranks third. Yes, you heard that right. Even without a single performance or comeback in recent months, they maintain around 13.5 million monthly listeners, surpassing strong competitors like LE SSERAFIM, ELLE, aespa, HYBE, and IDOL. Their debut track, Attention, recently surpassed 500 million streams, and their combined Spotify streams have now exceeded 6.7 billion. For such a young group, these numbers are astounding and speak volumes about the power of their music. And it's not just Spotify. On YouTube Music, NewJeans ranked 18th globally, pulling in over 5 million weekly views, while hits like Hype Boy and How Sweet continue to sit on Melon's top 100 in Korea. All this is happening despite the fact that they haven't been seen on stage since ComplexCon Hong Kong nearly 6 months ago. The disconnect between their commercial success and public absence has left fans frustrated and anxious. In late 2024, NewJeans sought to terminate their exclusive contract with ADOR, claiming the company had breached obligations and arguing that they should be freed from the agreement. ADOR immediately filed a lawsuit, asking the courts to affirm that the contract is still valid, essentially stating that NewJeans cannot just walk away. By March 2025, a Seoul court issued an injunction preventing NewJeans from signing new deals or performing independently without ADOR's approval. The group responded by rebranding social handles and asserting they would continue creative work, but legally their hands were tied. Then, in June 2025, a higher court upheld the first court's ruling. This meant NewJeans' contract with ADOR remained legally binding, and their attempt to cancel it had failed. In simpler terms, unless both parties agree or the court finds an exceptionally strong reason, K-pop groups usually can't walk away from their contracts. Today, NewJeans are stuck in a legal limbo, immensely popular but unable to act freely. This contract dispute isn't just about names or money. It's about control, trust, and what agency truly means for artists. Fans, however, are not staying silent. In fact, 53 NewJeans fan communities recently issued a joint statement under the banner Solidarity for Reconciliation and K-pop Advancement. They urged both HYBE and Minhee Jin to reconcile and demanded several actions: public apologies, assurances that such conflicts won't happen again, Minhee Jin's reinstatement as ADOR's CEO, and most importantly, the immediate return of NewJeans to full activity. The frustration online is intense. One fan wrote, NewJeans are literally carrying K-pop on their backs right now with no promotions. Imagine if they actually had a comeback. Another commented, it feels like the industry is wasting one of the most promising groups we've ever had. Give the girls back their stage. Some fans expressed deeper emotions. I miss seeing them perform. Their music is still in my daily playlist, but it hurts not seeing them together. And others voiced concerns. If this drags on too long, even the strongest fandom can't keep the momentum forever. Industry insiders share similar thoughts. One remarked, people in the industry often say, half joking, half serious, that NewJeans could have become the most legendary K-pop girl group if they had been allowed to continue promoting. If they resume activities in any form, they could reclaim their position faster than expected. For now, progress looks distant. The second court mediation session over their exclusive contract lasted just 20 minutes and ended without any agreement. On the same day, Minhee Jin was tied up in another trial against HYBE regarding stock buybacks and shareholder rights. highlighting just how wide the rift has become. At this point, NewJeans' future depends on the courts. If they win, they might be able to promote independently. If they lose, they'll face a tough choice. Remain under ADOR with limited activities, go into a silent hiatus until their contract ends, or pay penalties to leave and start over somewhere else. What is clear, though, is that even the brightest flame can dim without fuel. For NewJeans, their greatest fuel has always been their fans. The ones who stream their songs daily, keep their names trending online, and are desperately waiting for the day the group takes the stage again. So now I want to hear from you, Joysters. Do you think NewJeans can maintain this level of popularity if the hiatus continues much longer? And what do you think needs to happen for the group to finally return? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. BLACKPINK's Rosé took the stage at the 2025 Global Citizen Festival in New York City's Central Park on September 27th. With Hugh Jackman hosting, the event emphasized raising awareness about extreme poverty, world hunger, and the ongoing Gaza crisis. In front of more than 60,000 people, Rosé delivered a raw acoustic set that exposed her live vocals down to the details.
So why were you holding her hand? Was it just the way we stand? Were you lying all the time? Was it just a game to you? But I'm in so deep. You know I'm such a fool.
Her performance lasted around 12 minutes, featuring Appetite, 2 Years, a cover of the Cranberries' Linger, and her track, Toxic Till the End. Dressed in a flowing pink gown, Rosé created an atmosphere that stood out from the high-energy acts that shared the lineup, including Shakira, Cardi B, and Eliana. What drew the most attention wasn't just her visuals, but her live vocals. Unlike many large-scale pop stages where heavy backing tracks are common, Rosé relied solely on a live band and her own voice. Fans praised the way she leaned into a softer pop-rock sound, which many felt brought out the best in her tone. And the reaction online has been overwhelming. As one fan put it, no backtrack, no autotune, no lip-syncing, just Rosé insane raw vocals. Another wrote, "This woman truly doesn't afraid of Mike." The whole performance was just the band, her singing without backtracks, the raw vocals and how genuine she was. A true artist. Another added, "Rosé did an amazing performance. Live's vocals, no backtrack, only her and the musicians. This is who she is and always been. Proud and one as Global Citizen Rosé." Her take on Linger especially left a strong impression, with listeners pointing out how natural the genre felt for her. Reactions poured in like, "I'm actually speechless. K-pop should be grateful for her. I'm being serious. And she just sounds so good live." I am obsessed. Clips of the set quickly spread online, sparking conversations about Rosé's artistry, the kind of music that truly resonates with her, and the musical direction fans hope she explores more often. Many agreed this performance revealed a side of her talent not always visible in polished studio tracks or big-stage pop productions, and it's a side they want to see more often. Looking at Rosé's career more broadly, her profile shows that she has performed at international music festivals, including this Global Citizen setlist according to her performance history. Fans and critics alike are saying moments like this not only reaffirm her vocal strength, but push for more creative freedom in her solo ventures. So, Joysters, what do you think? Do you want to see more of Rosé's raw live vocals? Should she explore the softer pop rock style or stick with high-energy K-pop stages? And would you love a full acoustic album or tour from her? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Back in January 2020, Chen shocked fans by announcing through a handwritten letter on EXO's official fan platform, LISN, that he was going to marry his girlfriend, who was already pregnant with their first child. In the letter, he expressed his nervousness and desire to be open with his fans, stating, "I have a girlfriend I want to spend the rest of my life with." SM Entertainment later confirmed that his fiancée was pregnant, though they did not disclose further details due to her being a non-celebrity. The announcement was made on January 13th, right between Dio's birthday on January 12th and Kai's birthday on January 14th. Many fans at the time felt this was inconsiderate, as it overshadowed the celebrations of the other members. The backlash was intense, with some fans demanding that he leave EXO, while others stood by his side, praising him for not hiding his relationship and for taking responsibility as a father-to-be. Chen welcomed his first child later that year, then his second in 2021. In October 2023, he held his official wedding ceremony, which was attended by EXO members. Throughout this time, Chen not only pursued his career as a solo artist, but also continued to actively promote as a member of EXO, participating in group activities alongside his bandmates. Now, 5 years after the announcement, netizens are reflecting on the situation very differently than they did back then. Some netizens are still divided. One commented, "He might be a good husband and father, but as an idol, I'm not so sure." Another expressed skepticism by saying, "The irony of being praised just for taking responsibility, lol." Others, however, saw his actions in a more positive light. One wrote, "Taking responsibility is natural, and he is a good person to his family." Another added, "Well, he is a real man to his family, lol, but from a fan's perspective, it's different." Some fans remain critical about how his choices impacted EXO as a group. One said, "Best to his wife, worst as an idol." Another shared, "Maybe because I'm not a fan?" I think the group struggled as idols from that point. From then on, to me, they were over. I feel a bit sorry for the other members. But there are also those who have softened with time. One person commented, "Maybe because I'm not a fan, but I think he's okay as a person, even if not as an idol. So many men and even kids don't take responsibility." Another admitted, "I loved EXO and Chen was my bias, but I don't know. I hope he's happy with his loud family life, but as a group fan, my attachment dropped overnight. Now I have no feelings at all." The criticism often circles back to the timing of his announcement. One netizen wrote, "It's good he took responsibility. It's the right thing to do." But honestly, the timing of the announcement seemed inconsiderate to fans. Announcing it between members' birthdays was too much. Maybe if it were his own birthday, it'd be different. Another added more bluntly, "Exactly, you liked him as a person, but those who criticized him saw him as an idol. Announcing a premature pregnancy between two members' birthdays on the 13th was quite a move." Still, there are people who see no fault in his decision at all. One wrote, "Only brainless people would make it an issue. Legally and morally, there's nothing wrong. Tall or short, good-looking or not, married or dating. What's wrong as an idol? You can dislike it personally, but it's not the person's fault. Just people throwing a tantrum because they don't like it." Think a little. As years passed, more voices turned understanding. One shared, "Honestly, marrying, having a child, and living without major scandals can be reevaluated positively as we get older. There's so much crazy stuff happening these days, lol." Another agreed, "Honestly, from a non-fan perspective, he looks much better than male idols who go clubbing, cheat, and live recklessly." And some fans have simply moved on. "I was really pissed back then too, but now I just don't care, lol," wrote one netizen. So, 5 years later, Chen is still a polarizing figure. To some, he's an admirable husband and father who bravely chose responsibility over image. To others, he's still the idol who disrupted EXO's trajectory and hurt fans who weren't ready for the sudden news. So, Joysters, what do you think? Do you believe Chen made the right choice by prioritizing his personal life, or do you still see it differently? How do you feel about the timing of his announcement between EXO members' birthdays? Do you think fans' reactions were fair, or was it an overreaction? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective. Julie from the girl group Kiss of Life has recently found herself at the center of a swirling controversy involving an alleged leak of a private CCTV video that surfaced online. The video, which began circulating around September 29th, allegedly filmed inside a bar on May 7th, shows a man and a woman engaging in intimate physical affection in what appeared to be a private setting. The footage depicts the man touching the woman's hair while she lies on a sofa, then hugging her from behind as she attempts to leave. Speculation quickly spread across social media, especially on the Chinese platform Weibo, that the individuals in the video were Kangmin from Verivory and Julie from Kiss of Life. The situation escalated as fans and netizens reacted strongly. Some voiced concern that jumping to conclusions based on the video was causing unwarranted damage to the artists' reputations. Many urged the agencies involved to step in with clear statements to halt the spread of suspicious rumors. One fan commented, "Kiss of Life isn't famous or well known, so whatever. But they met separately and were touching each other like it was nothing. They must be really close. But why don't dating scandals come out since they're idols or celebrities?" Expressing curiosity about the closeness between the two and the rarity of dating scandals among idols. Another wrote, "I don't really care because I always saw Julie as that American hot girl older sister style, so I don't think it's a big deal. This would only affect pure innocent concept idols," indicating that Julie's image makes the situation less impactful to them. Someone else said, "They were drinking with acquaintances? Why the hell does that matter?" Losers, dismissing the controversy as unimportant. Highlighting the darker side of fandom, another pointed out, "I'm worried male idol fans will go after Julie." For a while, Hong Eun-chae was the biggest victim of male idol fans' rage, warning about potential fan conflicts. One fan joked, "Haha, if it were Jang Won-young or Karina, the communities would be going crazy. If they're not dating, it's weirder for them to be doing that kind of touching," noting a double standard depending on the idol involved. Lastly, another comment reflected on who is blamed, saying, "If that had happened before, normal people would have blamed the person who leaked it, and the entertainer would later quietly lose popularity." Weird takes, pointing out the unusual focus on the entertainer rather than the leak itself. As to Entertainment, Julie's agency initially responded by saying, "Since this concerns her personal life, the company has nothing to comment on." However, as the video continued to spread and speculation intensified, they released a firmer statement. They confirmed the existence of illegally leaked and distributed videos circulating online and condemned the baseless speculation damaging their artist's honor and character. The agency made it clear that they are working closely with legal representatives to collect and analyze evidence and prepare legal actions against anyone spreading false information, malicious posts, or violating personal rights. They warned, "We will respond strongly without any settlement or leniency. Not only the illegal leaking and distribution of such videos, but also any secondary harm or manipulation may be subject to legal punishment." At the same time, Jellyfish Entertainment, representing Verivory's Kangmin, categorically denied the rumors. They stated, "This is entirely untrue and a malicious falsehood that seriously damages the artist's reputation." Their firm stance sought to protect Kangmin's public image and discourage the circulation of the unfounded claims. This incident shines a light on the harsh realities celebrities face concerning privacy and rumor control, especially in a connected digital world where unverified content can spread quickly and damage reputations. Joysters, what do you think about these kinds of leaks and rumors? How should agencies balance protecting their artists' privacy while keeping fans informed? Do you think legal action is the right approach to handle such situations? Share your thoughts. On October 2nd, the Seoul Eastern District Court held the second mediation session between EXO's subunit CBX, Chen, Baekhyun, and Xiumin, and SM Entertainment over contract enforcement and settlement payments. But once again, no agreement was reached. EXO's subunit CBX are now officially heading into a full-scale legal battle with SM Entertainment. This follows the first mediation held on September 23rd, which also ended without a settlement, pushing the case back toward litigation. The dispute began in 2023, when CBX notified SM they wanted to terminate their contracts, accusing the company of failing to provide proper settlement records. A temporary compromise was reached. CBX would remain under SM for EXO's group activities, while their solo and unit work would be managed through Baekhyun's company INB 100. But tensions rose again over money. SM demanded 10% of CBX's personal activity earnings, while CBX countered that SM had broken its promise to grant them a 5.5% distribution fee through Kakao. Claiming the deal was unfair, CBX filed a countersuit for about 600 million won, or $426,000 in unpaid settlements. With both mediation attempts failing, the conflict now looks set to drag into a long and heated court battle. Some fans feel CBX must stand firm on transparency and fairness, even if that means risking exclusion. Others want the group to reunite, but with their rights protected. And this brings us to the big question. EXO has teased a group comeback for December 2025. raising hopes that all 9 members, including CBX, might stand together again. But with the lawsuit unresolved, nobody knows for sure whether CBX will actually join that comeback stage or if the legal battle will keep them on the sidelines. So, Joysters, what do you think? Should CBX hold their ground and fight for transparency, even if it risks them being excluded from EXO's December comeback? Or do you think it's better for them to compromise so we can finally see all 9 members together on one stage again? And how do you feel about SM's role in all this? Are they protecting the group? Or just protecting themselves? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Share your opinions and theories in the comments. Let's get a discussion going. Rosé attended the Yves Saint Laurent show on September 29th, taking a front row seat among major stars. But a video shared from the event stirred heartbreak among fans. While other celebrity attendees chatted animatedly, Rosé sat tucked at the end, appearing isolated and left out. Some netizens say Hailey Bieber made attempts to include Rosé in conversation, but body language in the footage suggests she was kept on the fringes. One netizen commented, "There's another video where Hailey tries to bring Rose into the conversation, but Charlie still won't budge." One fan expressed disbelief, saying, "How could you ignore Rose, another queen of pop?" Another added with empathy, "It seems that Hailey wants to see and talk to Rosé." With frustration, someone said, "It looks like Rosé is going to cry because she don't have to talk to." Others questioned silently, "Who even are they ignoring Rosé?" One more lamented, "Rosé looks so lost and sad." Then things escalated. In another clip that circulated online, Zoe Kravitz was filmed making a subtle hand gesture toward Rosé, an action fans quickly recognized as the hand gesture people use to call a dog. The reaction was swift and furious, with many calling it extraordinarily disrespectful given Rosé's status as a global ambassador for YSL. One fan pointed out, "That's the hand gesture you use to call a dog." Another added in disbelief, not even to someone else, but to Rosé, a superstar, doing that gesture. Wow. Some defended the moment, suggesting it was misinterpreted or blown out of proportion, but the damage had been done. The perception of disrespect had already taken hold online. What makes this especially poignant is the role Rosé holds with Yves Saint Laurent. As one of the brand's ambassadors, her presence should carry weight, not be minimized. Yet fans also pointed out that event coverage further sidelined her. For example, ELLE UK posted a group photo featuring Hailey Bieber, Zoe Kravitz, and others. But Rosé was noticeably cropped out, despite appearing in earlier versions of the image. The deletion sparked accusations of erasure, with many calling it a blatant snub and even raising questions of racial bias. One netizen commented thoughtfully, "I'm not a fan of BLACKPINK, but I respect Rosie's artistry and being a brand ambassador with 84 million plus followers. She actually has more fan following than all those girlies combined. This is deliberate cropping. They just don't like her, I guess." Another bluntly reacted, "Racism." One commented, "Where is Rosé?" Others replied in disbelief frustration, "This is so disrespectful. Oh, come on. Where's Rosé?" Of course, there are voices pushing back against the outrage. Some fans argue that the hand gesture and seating arrangement were misread, or that the lighting, camera angles, and event dynamics played a major role. Others note that Rosé is accustomed to commanding her own space, and that interpreting body language from a short clip doesn't give the full picture. Still, when someone's sitting at the very edge, rarely spoken to, and gestured toward in a questionable way, those optics are painfully potent. For an artist with global influence, a brand ambassadorship, and a loyal fandom, every interaction holds symbolic weight. What do you think, Joysters? Was Rosé deliberately ignored, or is this all overblown? Do you believe the gesture from Zoe was disrespectful or just misunderstood? And how much responsibility do event organizers and media outlets hold in ensuring equal treatment? Drop your thoughts in the comments. BLACKPINK's Lisa is stepping into a new chapter of her career as she signs with WME, an American talent agency also known as William Morris Endeavor, to focus on her acting endeavors. On September 29th, Lisa's label Loud announced, Lisa has signed with WME for representation in her acting endeavors as she continues to build a career in film and television. This move follows her successful debut role earlier this year on the HBO series The White Lotus, where she portrayed the character Mook. Since then, Lisa has gained significant attention and accolades, not just for her music, but for her expanding presence in acting. She made history as the first K-pop artist to perform at the Oscars, attending some of the biggest acting events of the year. WME represents many notable actors such as Christian Bale, Denzel Washington, and Blake Lively, signaling Lisa's entrance into a highly competitive and prestigious acting arena. Fans eagerly anticipate the projects she will take on next, excited to see her develop her talents beyond the stage. However, not all reactions have been positive. Alongside the excitement, Lisa has faced criticism and allegations of nepotism connected to her rumored boyfriend, Frederick Arnault. Some netizens have expressed harsh opinions on social media, suggesting her new opportunities stem from her personal connections rather than her hard work. Comments include, "Amazing how far a gal can get just by who she dates," reflecting skepticism about her acting career being advanced by her relationship. One commenter wrote, "Acting? Frederick, look what damage you have done." There are plenty of people who studied and mastered acting, but having a rich Zionist boyfriend is all it takes for an untalented Nepo baby to take your deserving place. The world is sick. This reflects frustration from individuals who believe the acting field should only be accessible through merit and training. Another said, "You just need to have a billionaire Zionist boyfriend, and you will get everything." Fuck everyone who went to uni and have perfected their acting, expressing anger at what they see as unfair advantages tied to wealth and connections. The split of opinions highlights the complexities celebrities face when transitioning careers and maintaining public support. Lisa's new contract with WME underscores her ambitions to advance in acting, while the critiques tell a broader story about the impact of relationships, privilege, and public perception in the entertainment industry. Joysters, what do you think about Lisa's move into acting? Is signing with WME a smart step for her career growth? How do you feel about the criticisms tied to her rumored relationship? Do you think talent or connections play a bigger role in success? Share your thoughts. I'd love to hear your opinion. Rosé attended the Yves Saint Laurent show on September 29th, taking a front row seat among major stars. The controversy began when ELLE UK shared a group photo from the Saint Laurent show at Paris Fashion Week, featuring Hailey Bieber, Zoe Kravitz, and influencer Debbie Han, but cropped out Rosé, who is a global ambassador for Saint Laurent and was clearly in the original lineup. Fans instantly noticed her exclusion and called it out as blatant racism, since Rosé was the only Asian figure and ambassador present in the photo. I'm not a fan of BLACKPINK, but I respect Rosie's artistry and being a brand ambassador with 84 million plus followers. She actually has more fan following than all those girlies combined. This is deliberate cropping. They just don't like her, I guess. Another bluntly reacted, "Racism." Others replied in disbelief frustration. "This is so disrespectful." Oh, come on. Where's Rosé? Facing fierce backlash, LA UK took down the original post and replaced it with a solo photo of Rosé. They also issued an apology via Instagram stories explaining the crop was done for size and not meant to offend. They pledged to better represent the full spectrum of their audience. However, the response triggered even more criticism from fans worldwide. Comments on the newly posted solo photo of Rosé revealed deep frustration. One netizen wrote, "You uploaded Rosé's photo after getting comments from her fans? So embarrassing." Another commented, "Deleting and reposting Rosé's solo shot won't erase the disrespect." This isn't just bad editing. It's unethical and reeks of racism. Too late, ELLE UK. And criticizing the magazine's explanation, one remarked, "You're telling me that a professional photographer and a prestigious fashion magazine's social media team couldn't manage to adjust the size of a photo? Even an elementary school kid could come up with a better excuse. Or is the person running ELLE UK's social media actually in elementary school? At least you apologized. That's something. Maybe you should also give Charlie and Hailey Bieber some advice while you're at it." Thoughtfully, another fan asked, "Did ELLE UK provide an explanation as to why they cut Rosé's photo?" You can't jump to conclusions about racism, but it's definitely noteworthy that they removed the only Asian from the image. especially since she's also an ambassador for Saint Laurent. Why hasn't Saint Laurent mentioned the slight disregard for ELLE UK's brand ambassadors? The potential financial impact on Saint Laurent should not be overlooked if this situation is not resolved. Also, the current post on ELLE UK seems to have a bit of an offense. Another asked in disbelief, "I'm honestly asking because I really don't know. Who are those 3 women next to Rosé? Top stars? Singers? I seriously have no idea who they are." Following that, another fan confidently stated, "She is more popular than those 3 women." Another commented harshly, "Deleting and reposting Rosé's solo shot won't erase the disrespect. This isn't just bad editing, it's unethical and reeks of racism." Too late, ELLE UK. Some fans summed up their frustration bluntly and simply, ELLE UK equals racism. These comments highlight how fans see the apology as inadequate, failing to address the racial disrespect and deeper issues around representation. The criticism is not simply about photo editing, but about a broader pattern of marginalizing Asian artists in global fashion media. Rosé's stature as a Saint Laurent global ambassador since 2020 and one of the most influential figures in fashion makes her exclusion particularly glaring. Other media outlets posted the original group photos showing Rosé prominently, underscoring how the ELLE UK edition seemed deliberately altered. Though Rosé has responded with grace, expressing gratitude toward the brand and the event, fans remain steadfast in demanding true accountability and improved representation moving forward. This controversy marks a critical moment in highlighting ongoing challenges of representation for Asian stars in global media, and the urgent need for transparency and respect from influential fashion outlets like ELLE UK. The world is watching closely to see if this incident leads to genuine change. Joysters, what do you think about this situation? Was ELLE UK's apology enough, or should they do more to address the issues around representation and respect? How important is it for media outlets to be transparent and directly tackle racial bias? And how should brands like Saint Laurent respond when their ambassadors face public disrespect? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your voice matters. It's a wrap for today. Thanks for tuning in to K-Joy. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you're always first to know what's happening in the world of Korean entertainment. Until next week, stay curious, stay kind, and stay tuned.